So I'm Inge Van Oost. I work in DG AGRI, the European Commission, and we're working to prepare the Innovation Partnership, which is a new tool to look for synergies between policy instruments. So I work in DG AGRI, which is the agricultural administration, let's say, at the Commission, but we try to make links between research tools and agricultural tools, possibly regional funds. So we try to look for synergies between all these instruments that are there under the CAP policy, under the Horizon 2020 funding. And we want to mobilize all that to have more innovation and more of those research results that maybe are still on shelves somewhere or in research abstracts and not known by practice, to have them applied and also to capture the ideas of practice and bring these in contact with researchers, and where necessary try to refine them and get it better, because a lot of those ideas are being lost. I think LINSAs really show what we are also looking for. It's this cross-fertilization between different types of knowledge. You see a lot of these LINSAs having researchers and then farmers together in one network, and that these ideas, when they are brought together, they bring this creativity, and that's exactly what we want to do also in the Innovation Partnership, to have, we call it operational groups, who do together projects and are looking for results at the end of their project. The difference with the way you call your LINSAs networks is that we make a difference between networks and operational groups. Operational groups are mixed groups of farmers, advisors, researchers working together, so they set their objectives and they execute their project, and in the end, in principle, if they reach their objectives, or even if it shows that the idea that they had in the beginning was maybe not a good idea and it's not feasible, but if they did the test and they did the work, it's okay. And then we see a difference between these, what we call operational groups, with networks. And for us, networks are places where actors that possibly can work together afterwards in the groups, where they can meet and talk and reflect on what they think is important to do and to go for. And I think you use the term networks for the two kind of groups, both for operational groups doing projects and for groups where people talk and meet and exchange ideas. So I think the way you use the word networks is different from how we use it. Of course, these operational groups, they might have a view, a certain objective that they will try out. They do some tests and see whether what they think could be a good innovation really is feasible. But it's also possible after their project, when they finished it with good or bad results. We saw the Italian example here from Parmigiano Reggiano, who wanted to make a separate label for this red cow. So they reached their objective, they have their specific label. So that's kind of an operational group. So they finished their work. But again, I hear from the people who are looking at this network that possibly in the future there would also be new networks, and maybe from these new networks, new, what we call then operational groups that could stem from it. So it's a process of bringing people together, both LINSAs and operational groups and the networks as we understand the word networks. It's a process of bringing people together and looking for this cross-fertilization. I think that's what's common between your project and what we would like to do. We think that you need an extra push to bring people together. Sometimes it happens by accident behind a bar or a coffee house. But if you really want to push innovation really hard, I think you need to make occasions to bring these people together. And we are thinking about looking for funding of what we call innovation brokers. A broker is a marriage maker, bringing people together. And to have maybe small seed funding for bringing these people together that then can find a project where they have common objectives and then go maybe to other funding sources to execute their project. But this starting up, this what we call innovation brokering, is quite important and doesn't always happen sufficiently. So people have to find each other and we have to make efforts for that.